is probably the most underrated Sonic game in existence, and before I begin the actual review, let me clarify something. Just because a game rips off something does not automatically mean it's bad. Sonic Shuffle is commonly coined as being a Mario Party ripoff. Thank you, Nintendo fanboys, for pointing out the obvious. But apparently this automatically makes the game a horrible game, which is completely untrue. It's not that bad of a game. Before I even start going over the actual gameplay, let me explain the plot. The plot is that Sonic and his friends have been stuck in, got sucked into this place called Imaginary World, and have to help this fairy Lumina save the world from the ultimate destruction because the villain in the game, Void, has destroyed the Precious Stone, which controls Imaginary World, and captured the goddess Illumina, and you have to save it. The plot's really stupid, okay? I will say that. The plot is not one of the better plots. It's kind of dumb, but it's a party game, so I'm not really looking for a good plot. I don't play party games for the plot. I play it for fun activities with friends. So I don't really mind that the plot is incredibly dumb. Plus, you shouldn't be playing this game on single player in the first place. Now, the plot is going to be described with a set of cutscenes, and I will say this right now, the cutscenes suck. The graphics of the game are horrible. They tried to go for a cel shading style, but it just doesn't work here. The characters talk like sock puppets, their mouths look weird, the animations are bad, the design is bad, the textures are bad. The graphics just don't work outside of the pre-rendered cinematics, like the intro and a couple of the cutscenes in between. But what you're going to be seeing most of, the graphics are not good. I will say that. Now, the actual gameplay is a bit better than the plot. Now, now the game is controlled by cards. Each character is dealt a hand of cards at the beginning of each match, and there's 4 of each card with the exception of 2 different types of cards. There's cards 1 through 6, there's 3 special cards, and then there's the Eggman card. Now, cards 1 through 6 are obvious. That means you move the amount of spaces that's on the card. The special cards will start a roulette, which will allow you to pick what number of spaces you want to move, up to 7 with the special card, or you could switch your cards to the other player, and there's something else you can do. You can discard one of the other player's cards, I think it was. I don't really know. No one ever used the other 2 options. Everyone always uses the roulette, so it really doesn't matter. The Eggman card will do something horrible, never ever pick it. Now, there's obviously minigames in the game, otherwise it wouldn't be much fun. Minigames are activated with a set of certain spaces. But the problem with single player is highlighted in the minigames. There's a huge issue I have with single player, and that is because the computer AI is not balanced at all. They are either brutally hard to face or they're ridiculously easy. And speaking of bad AI, the Chow in this game is fucking evil. Some of the characters seem smarter than those, and the Chow is pure evil. I'm telling you, that Chow is gonna wreck you. Some of the minigames are hard as hell because the AI is like a god at it. You can't beat the AI sometimes. I mean, you can, but it's almost impossible in some instances. The AI also seems to have the ability to pick the card it exactly needs at that moment, no matter what. If an AI needs a certain card, it's gonna pick it. It's gonna find the card in another opponent's hand, because you can pick an opponent's card and be able to use it. And on the flip side of them being able to kill you in the mini games and being able to pick the exact card they need from your hand or another computer's hands, the one they need all the time, they also there's also times when they will be ridiculously stupid. They will do the stupidest things, like pick a 1 card to fight a level 2 boss or battle a level 2 monster, or pick a 2 card to fight a 2 and then get the 1 in the roulette. They do really retarded things. I have seen computers go the opposite direction of where the Precious Stone is. The computers also have a tendency to pick the Eggman card, which is a bad thing for almost everyone. In some instances, the Eggman card starts a roulette, which will choose some evil invention for him to do. Usually, it's something horrible to the person that chooses it, but sometimes he'll put everyone in a random space. It's annoying as hell when they do that, because the Eggman card is really irritating, and you almost never want to touch it. I mentioned the battles. They're an interesting part of the game. The battles start when you choose a pressure stone and land in a battle space. There's a card above a monster's head, and there's a number on it. So you have to pick a card the same or higher than that number. And once you pick a card, it's going to start a roulette, and you have to land it on the number you need. The mini-events will also appear randomly if you land on a mini-game space. They're pretty pointless most of the time, and for some reason the computers are also really good at them if it's a question mini-event. Or sometimes something random will happen. The mini-events are very random, and they're kind of pointless, and I really don't like them. But, they're an interesting idea, I guess. I don't mind them too much. I just prefer a mini-game when I land on a mini-game space. Each character in the game also has their own unique ability, with the exception of the child that doesn't have the ability, which is why I think they made its AI retardedly annoying. Sonic's is if you pick two cards in the same two turns, the same numbered card, the second time it'll be doubled. So if you pick a 2 the first time and a 2 the second time, the next one will be 4. The problem with his is it sometimes will screw you over and go and like say you need 4 spaces and you have 2 2s. You can't do it because you can't choose not to use the ability. Tails, Knuckles, and Amy have certain spaces in the map that only they can cross. Biggs is weird. If you pick a 6 card, you can hit the A button and select any space in between the space you're standing on and the 6 space away, so you can land on pretty much any space within 6 spaces. Gamma can't be hurt by lose ring spaces, and like I said, the Chow does nothing. And Super Sonic is the same as regular Sonic. Another thing that drives me crazy about the mini-games is, like I said, the AI will kill you in some of the mini-games. Some of the mini-games are the stupidest mini-games in the world, because they're either luck-based, or they are these stupid mini-games where you have to hit the right button. And the computers are really, really good at this in single-player. I don't know why this is. These minigames are just annoying, and they go on for too long when you're facing a computer because they won't lose, they won't die. Although honestly, there are only like 3 minigames like this, and the luck-based minigames are also few and far between. Most of the minigames are actually a lot of fun. I like most of the minigames in the game, and I have a couple personal favorites, like one where you shoot each other with tanks and such. But another issue, minor issue I have with the game is there's no minigame selection on the main menu. You have to get lucky and get a favorite minigame while you're playing the actual game. You can't play just the minigames. And I know Mario Party had a feature like that, which I thought was cool, and I like that. But this game doesn't. I don't know why they didn't think to put that in, because it would have been a great idea. Last thing I want to mention are the duels. This will happen in multiplayer when 2 players land on the same space. Basically, it's either you have to have a higher number or a lower number than them, and you do this by going along a wall and getting cards, either sending cards over to them or taking cards. Some cards will subtract the total number, and the Eggman card will reduce your amount to 0 or increase your amount to 0 if you're in negatives. And the duels are okay. They're kind of pointless, but they're kind of interesting. Overall, I've pretty much gone over every piece of the game and every issue I have with it. The game is mediocre. I like it, but I won't say it's flawless by any means. The game, don't play the game in single player. It's hard as hell and not worth your time, because if you care, you shouldn't really care at all about the plot, to be honest. I mean, if you want to know the plot, go ahead and play single player. A lot of reviewers I noticed say the single player is impossible because of the computer AI. They can go fuck themselves, because I beat this game. It is not impossible. But it may not be worth it. If you're playing on multiplayer with a group of friends, or even with like 1 or 2 computers, it's going to be a blast. You're going to love this game. It's a great party game, and I like it for that. I just really think the game has always been so underrated, because everyone just classifies it oh, it's just a stupid Mario Party ripoff. Because apparently, Mario Party is the only party game allowed. Oh no other board-based party games. That's forbidden. You can't have another board-based party game. That would be bad. It's just stupid to think that just because a game is a ripoff of something, that's automatically bad. That's stupid logic. Really stupid logic. I'm done. Have a nice fucking day. And next up, we'll see what I think of Sonic Riders Zero Gravity, another underrated game.